and this is the Salt Lake Tribune Daily Buzz, a video series where we bring you the important story of the day. So anybody who has ever attempted to cross sections of 700 East in Salt Lake City, either on their bike or by walking, knows it can be incredibly dangerous. The road features 6 total lanes of traffic going in both directions at high speeds. Fast-driving commuters heading home need to turn right, and then they end up in crosswalks, which is what happened to the editor and publisher of Cycling Utah, Dave Iltis. In 1998, he was riding his bicycle along 700 East when a car turned right on a red light and hit him. The crash shattered his left knee, and decades later, he still has trouble with that knee. But Iltis was lucky in this regard, though. Just this past January, a 31-year-old man was killed after a Chevy truck ran a red light at the intersection of 500 South and 700 East. The driver left the scene and they have not been found. So why are Salt Lake City streets like 700 East so dangerous to cyclists, and how did we even get to this point? So in the 1970s, engineers assumed that cyclists could just ride in the traffic flow alongside of vehicles. John Larson, Salt Lake City's Transportation Division Director, explained that idea of treating bicyclists the same as cars just absolutely failed miserably. Larson said that about 15 years ago, more North American cities started to, quote, wake up and embrace protected bicycle lanes. In 2010, under Mayor Ralph Becker's tenure, the city passed the Complete Streets Ordinance that had all redesigned streets be made for, quote, all modes of traffic. Just this past January, Salt Lake City Mayor Aaron Mendenhall announced plans to try to eliminate all traffic fatalities and injuries in Salt Lake City. Now, on the state level, in 2017, former Governor Gary Herbert kicked off a goal to add 1,000 miles of, quote, family-friendly trails and bike paths in Utah by 2027. And most recently, the legislature set aside $90 million for, quote, active transportation statewide trails network. So how has Salt Lake City streets actually changed to help improve the safety of bicyclists? So one example is the protected bike lane Salt Lake City built in 2014 along sections of 300 South. It works by having a curb and a line of parked cars separate the cyclists from traffic. Protected bike lanes are the preferred method by advocates and cyclists. Iltis said, quote, they give you a sense of comfort. There is an actual physical barrier between traffic and you. However, these types of protected bike lanes cannot be found around much of the city. Now, currently, Salt Lake City is prioritizing protecting intersections. According to the CDC, 27% of fatal bicycle deaths occur in intersections. One way to make street crossings safer is through what's called intersection hardening. Now, that basically means that anytime a car is turning, the infrastructure around it should force them to slow down and the driver to be more alert. Curbs that force drivers to make sharp turns can actually help with this. The Highland Drive 1100 East reconstruction proposal includes some features that slow cars down at intersections. This includes concrete curbing and extended sidewalks. Now, the city is also focused on projects that slow down traffic in general and as an effort to make streets safer. This includes roundabouts, speed bumps, and narrowing of streets. Sweet Streets SLC, a nonprofit dedicated to, quote, people first planning, successfully lobbied to lower speed limits in residential streets from 25 miles an hour to 20 miles per hour. They are also calling on the city to fund and build more neighborhood byways by 2025. Now, while all of these measures remain a focus for the city, a few new bicycle trails are actually coming to Salt Lake City in the next year. The 300 West reconstruction will include a 2-way bike path, which is part of which is already done. On 900 South, the city is working on a 9-lane trail. The 4 lanes of traffic will be narrowed down to just 2, making room for a trail with some of the landscaping on the south side of the street. Now, Larson said, quote, we are far from satisfied. We know we have a long way to go, but we are a little bit better each year. Now, we want to hear from you guys. What do you think about these measures being made by Salt Lake City to make streets safer? Do you think more needs to be done? What are the streets that you think are the most dangerous that Salt Lake City should be focusing on? You can comment below, or you can tweet us at SLTrib. Thank you guys so much for watching. We really do appreciate it. If you want these videos and all of our videos as soon as they are live, be sure that you're subscribed. You can also follow us on Instagram and Twitter and here on YouTube at SLTrib. Thanks.